Hello guys and welcome to the next episode. I thought that maybe in this tutorial I will show you how to work with character creator tree and high quality characters. So first of all, what you need to know is that you have three types of characters in character creator, which is the CC3 character, CC3 Plus characters and game-based characters. Now every CC3 Base Plus character can be downgraded to CC3 Base or to game base. I highly not recommend converting to game base. Converting to game base can help you to merge multiple materials into one material. But you can do the same with LOD setup, and this will absolutely destroy the quality of the characters. And also that will make comforting of clothes that you have in character creator a lot harder, as most cloth is already skinned perfectly for CC3 characters, and if you convert to game base they will be reskinned and sometimes a lot of strange things will happen. Okay, so I got this character ready. All the clothes has been tested that they are well comforted. There's no poking through them on any part. Well, maybe some very small issues here and there, but nothing to worry about. Okay, let's just first of all we need the plugin. So you go here, character creator and icon for Unreal. It will open a website. On this website you can download the latest plugin here. After that you install the plugin. Okay, and in the install folder of the plugin you get this, and what you have to do is copy the content and plugins, both of those folders, directly into the project you're going to work with. This is a very important step because it requires this relation between plugins and content inside the project. So you cannot copy the plugins into the plugin folder of the entire engine so it works for every project you ever create. You have to do it per project each time. And let's prepare a character for the export. So what we need to do is just do export FBX cloud character. We pick up the preset for Unreal, obviously. Here you have some extra setup that you can do by hand, but it is unnecessary as picking Unreal sets up everything as it should be. We want to export only, you know what, mesh and motion, why not? We'll export our current pose and it will be in 30 FPS, but it will be just a single pose, so it doesn't matter. Delete hidden faces, and by default you have selected embed textures. Do not embed textures, we don't need them at all. And you could pretty much also export just the mesh without motion, doesn't really matter that much. And if you want you can use the Insta LOD, and here you have two options. One is to merge objects by type or by item. By type means that it will merge all body parts of the character, so the head, the torso, the legs, the hands and the nails, all that stuff into one mesh. It will merge everything regard eyes to a second and hair to a third one, and all the clothes, doesn't matter how many parts you have, will be merged into a single item. If you do a merge by item, it will reduce the material count by something about half. So each cloth will stay the same, they will just have one material, but the body parts will be merged together, hair will be merged together, but in a bit less destructive manner. So this is a very good option, both of those actually, for NPCs like disposable NPCs. You know, just some commoners in a village, or enemies that are just an army of enemy clones that are disposable. But we will actually do a remesher. We will keep the original avatar as a LOD0, which is the one that we have set up right here without any changes, and we'll just do 2 level of LODs. We're not going to do more than that. On level 1 we're going to have high, mesh details will be high, and bake texture size will be 2K, and on 2 will go as low, low, and 1K, and yeah, and that's it. And export. Yes. Now in export we just make a new folder. So hero 3 LODs, and inside this folder F hero 3 with LOD. Okay, save and just wait. It will take a while. Let's go into import. So once you go into the project, you can see that the character creator plugin is on automatically. So all we have to do, like we have this shader here, we just make, or you know what, we got characters already. We go into new folder, call it female 3, and all we have to do now is go here, high quality shader, and now those options are the most important ones. There are so many things that can go wrong if you break any of the options, so let's go through all of them. First of all, it is obviously a skeletal mesh, and we want to import mesh. We want to import geometry and skinning weight, and if we don't select a skeleton, a new one will be created. But the skeleton that will be created is literally a mannequin skeleton. So we can pick a mannequin skeleton already, and it will not affect our import in whatsoever. The mannequin skeleton that would be created got few extra bones that will be actually added to this skeleton, but if they're not being used by a mesh like the mannequin itself, they don't affect animations whatsoever. We want to import animations exactly as they were in exported time. Oh, and let's go through, yeah, here. So vertex color, that's not important. Use T0 as reference pose, yes. Update skeleton reference, no. Preserve smooth, yes. Yes. Yes, we do want to import morph targets. We do want to import mesh LODs in this particular example. We don't want to compute normals. That will absolutely break the character. We want to import normals and tangents. This is irrelevant because we're not generating. We don't want to create physics asset. We want to select physics asset that already exist, and in the near future we'll just modify it, make a copy of it and modify it. That's a lot better option. If we create physics asset, we will get well, what can I say? A terrible physics asset. That's it. Auto-generated one. We want to import animations, but we can skip animation if we want to, if we haven't exported any. And they will be the exported type, not animation time. And we want to use default sample rate, which we set for 30 when we were exporting. And I don't think we need to change anything over here anymore. Yeah, that's fine. Now transform stays the same. We don't have to do this force front x-axis because character creator and Unreal both use the same axis, so that's fine. Material, this option doesn't matter because we don't want to create new materials. We don't want to do anything. Do not create materials, do not import textures. This is being handled by the plugin itself, so do not do that. Don't do that. Doesn't matter because we're not creating materials. And that's it. Import. Okay, like you see, we didn't want to import textures or materials, but they are being imported anyway, and they are being properly set up. So we are just waiting. Okay, we got it. So he imported the mesh. He imported subsurface scattering profiles, LOD groups, and animations. So we have the bind pose, which is the... Okay, something went wrong. And this one. Okay, so if we go here, okay, that's interesting. So let's delete clothing. Okay, so it had some issues with clothing setup, but we just deleted that. Should be fine now. Everything else seems pretty okay. Let's see how's the material setup. Everything seems fine. And this is the high quality skin setup, so that's fine. Let's see how the LODs look like, and we got 27 materials, which is quite a lot. So let's look how LOD0 looks like. This is our mesh that we created. Nothing to it, it's exactly the same. Now LOD1. Up close looks absolutely terrible, and this is the standard shader. And LOD1 got just a single material that got everything merged, so that's one of the reasons why it looks so bad. But this is usually how far we would be to see it. So let's go into auto. So this is LOD1, this is LOD0. You can see it popping up and out, but barely, honestly. And let's go to LOD2. Okay, that's even worse. That's one of the lowest quality. But we got only 4,000 triangles, and from up far that wouldn't really be that much of a difference. Okay, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, so let's put it into the scene. So this guy is at 0, 0, 0. Okay, let's put it here. 0, 0, 0. Okay, maybe more. 15, 10. Perfect. Let's delete this guy and let's take a look. Well, yeah, everything looks really well. One thing I'm not very happy about is this eye occlusion mesh that you can clearly see here. But the problem is that it's probably casting shadows that it shouldn't. So let's go into LOD0 settings. Let's find the eye occlusion. Yeah, it's here. So this one shouldn't cast shadow. Or maybe it is now as intended. Okay, and we can actually even go into this mesh and use it an animation pose, and we can go into characters, female, and we can set up this animation. And it looks pretty decent. I don't see anything wrong about it. Okay, and let's see, we are sharing animations right now. Let's go into skeleton setup and see what's the retarget options. Okay, that's not good. This should be animation, this should be animation scaled, and this app should be skeleton. Now this should be skeleton, this should be skeleton, and now this should be skeleton as well, and all the IK should be animation scaled, and yeah, that's it. So now I can use animations from the mannequin. We can go here and we can just go into her and we can play simulate. Okay, and as she's simulating, we can input different animations. You can see that she's animating very well. Okay, so that's a success. Let's go further and work with CC base character. Okay, now a second example. If we want to work with a character that is a CC3 base, not a CC3 Plus. So this is a bit different. It will have a bit different setup, as even for the setup of the face itself. If you go with eye setup being digital human, you will just get black eyes, so you have to change cornea to PBR and the eyes themselves to digital human. And this is cloud, everything else is being set up to digital human. And oh, this is the last one, digital human tongue. And I think everything is set up for the export. And let's add a pose that will export as well. Maybe this one? Yeah, that one looks cool. So let's hit export. Same way as last time, FBX Cloud, Unreal. Let's not use that, it will be just faster. Delete hidden faces, no textures. We want to export current pose at 30 FPS and export. Okay. And by the way, for this character, I don't have to even check if the character is poking through the clothes anywhere, because the character is CC3 and all the clothes are also CC3 base, so there is no way that they would be skinned differently, and they were never automatically skinned, so before something gets to the marketplace, it always gets checked out that it is skinned just perfectly. So we exported this character, and let's go into Unreal. High quality shader, yes, but we'll make some small changes to the import options. Okay, so everything here stays as it was. We're still importing to the UE4 mannequin. Yes. But we will create a physics asset, because if we don't do that, all the physics of the clothes will break, like we seen with the previous character, and we had to delete it. That's because of that. Okay, and that's it. We don't change anything else. Import all. Okay, and we can see that CC3 character has some other issues, like we now have well-skinned cloth. However, cloth is still broken because of the physics asset that we got imported. It looks like this. It's just terrible. So that would require a lot of work that we are not going to do in this episode. So what we'll do, we'll just delete the cloth that we have. And thanks to that, we are back to this now. Our eyes are completely black. So let's find what's causing this, and it's this STD cornea. Oh, maybe this will help. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's pause. Okay, let's stop. A lot better. But we are currently completely missing the occlusion mesh. But that doesn't matter. Like from even up close, it looks very well. And the eyes looks realistic. The skin uses subsurface scattering, so you can see those soft shadows, and everything just works. So yeah. Okay, and we can go here and use this animation as well. So yeah, that looks very good. There used to be a lot of more problems with CC3 characters, like hair disappearing after a certain distance and getting completely transparent. But I've seen that in the newest version of the auto setup plugin, and when you are working with CC3 Plus characters, most of the issues actually disappear. So the only two issues that you can have when working with Character Creator is one, you need to have the plugin installed in the project, not in the engine, and two, really take close attention on what are the import settings, because changing even one value can completely break everything. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I think that this works pretty well. And we're gonna be happy with the quality of the characters that we can get, and you already noticed how we can make them with LODs. Thank you for watching, and see you guys soon.